Hello. How's everybody doing today? So today we're going to start a whole new series. Been away a little bit, doing some shows and getting involved in a gallery that I was working with. So I wanted to get back onto a regular video schedule for you guys, and I want to talk about a couple of different things. I'm going to be doing a whole series on Procreate and how to use Procreate in your art process. It's done on an iPad. It is an app that you use on iPad. It's very important to use. Also, what I'm going to be starting to do live, if we can figure out how to do it live, is a free critiquing. Now, what is critiquing? Critiquing is usually done in colleges, sometimes done in high schools, where, okay, so we're all drawing a model or a bowl of fruit or whatever we're having, and then we put up our artwork on the board, and we all look at it, and we all look at what's a powerful piece on this, what's this piece saying, what's this piece missing, what is this piece saying, but it needs that. So every artist, it's really kind of important to critique your own work, and I think as time goes by, as a professional artist looks at their work, what I do is I make a piece of artwork and then I stare at it for quite a while, and I watch it, and I look at it for a couple of weeks before I sign it. If I'm sure that I'm done, I'm done. But when I'm not really sure, sometimes I stare at it for a while. So I'm gonna go through today some pieces that I'm critiquing for myself of my work. Then what we're going to be doing is once a week, we're gonna make it a regular schedule. You send me photographs of your work, and I will then put them up, and I'm going to critique them for you for nothing. I just want to do it I want to create a group of artists, all of us working together, and when we're putting up a piece to critique each week, everybody should feel free to join in. We might do it live if we can figure out how to do it live, or we're just going to do it, I film it, and then you guys can give me some suggestions, and give that other artist suggestions, because I think it's very important that we all support each other. So what is a critique? And what is it that we do in a critique as a professional artist to professional artist, or a professional artist to a novice? When I look at anybody's piece of artwork, the very first thing that I'm looking for is confirmation and a collective of items within it. So if we're looking at a figure, not only am I looking at the figure to be compositionally correct and making sure that it looks like a figure, but I'm also looking at negative spaces. So if you're drawing from a photograph or a model, and you have that model or photograph there, and you see that the negative space that's in here is creating a specific shape. But then when you see the artwork and that is more like really big, or there's no negative space, then that's important for you to take note of. And it's important to hear from other artists, you know, that you lost that negative space. That sometimes the negative space is almost as powerful as everything that's going on within the positive space. So that's really important. Also, color is really important, and color compositions. Now, I do a lot of color. I love color. Obviously, there's times when I'm doing a portrait and I need to pull it down. Sometimes I want to have an effect. Color has an effect. I like a lot of energy in my work, so for me, I like to have great, powerful color if it's a great, powerful image. Sometimes I want delicate power. Sometimes I want it to be gentle. Sometimes I want to push that piece subtly with certain kinds of colors. So I'm going to go through some of my own pieces today, and I'm going to show you what I will change in those pieces and what I find comfortable that I have accomplished in that particular kind of a piece. So follow me over there. Okay, so we're going to critique this piece. This is a piece that I've been working on. I tend to look at my pieces for about a week or so, sometimes longer. Sometimes I stare at them for months before I find that missing thing, like there's things missing. So for me, when I look at this piece, I see, as I stare at it, I'm like, this just doesn't feel like it's right. And I gridded it out. I don't know, I'll show you a close-up picture of this in the video, but it is gridded out. In other words, I took a photograph of a geisha face and I gridded it out to make sure I was exactly in the right place. We're going to talk about gridding in another video. Stay tuned for that one. So, but compositionally, even though I know her face was a wider face, even though I know exactly where everything was falling, I don't like where this nose looks, and I just want to move that nose. The nose feels, she had a wide nose, so I think I might change the nose, and I think I might move it up. I'm not really comfortable with where her nose is falling. Also on the side, I feel like her face is a little wide, and I might thin it. I might just make it a little thinner for my own compositional look of the piece. Also, the flowers, I moved them down, but I'm gonna push them back up, and I want them to be mostly up at the top so that it pulls your eye directly from the top. Usually most artists work from left to right. On this particular piece, I'm gonna work from right to left. So I'm going to work from the top. I'm gonna make these flowers at the top a focal point. I'm gonna make this particular eye a focal point. It takes a lot when you're working with a palette knife to really make it right. So I'm gonna make this a focal point. I'm gonna drop out this eye just a little bit. I'm gonna blur it very, very little, but I want this eye to be the focal point. And I'm gonna straighten out her nose, and then I'm gonna move through the lips, and I want those lips. I'm going to change the way that the lipstick is on the lips. The geisha process is that they white out their lips and then they paint on lips. But I'm going to change the lip, and you'll see. I want it to be just a smidge edgier looking, so I'm gonna change the lip line. And then I'm gonna put the detail down. She's wearing beautiful robes, a kimono. So I'm going to move it from this point with the flowers, through the eye, across the nose, across these different looking lips, and then I might pick up a little bit of detail on the kimono and move it down. So for me, I want to have a direction. It could be a winding direction. You can do a lot of winding in your pieces, but for me on this particular piece, that as I'm staring at it and looking at it, it's just too blank. This is a layered piece, so I'm going to show you close-ups of it, but this layering of colors underneath here, I love that because that's not a very typical geisha thing. Geishas they do an artistic expression in their art form, but they're very reserved, they're very controlled. The image of the geisha is a very controlled geisha look. So I kind of want it controlled, but I also want it to be edgy and artistic, because that is what they are. They are artists, and they're performing an art. Whether they're doing their music or they're dancing, they're fan dancing, or whatever they're doing, it is an art form. So I want to express this particular geisha in an artistic manner. So that's what I'm looking to do, is create a direction on the piece. I needed to look at it a little bit, but I want you to understand the concept and the process of critiquing. And I critique my own work all the time. And I ask friends, what do you think? What do you think about this? My toughest critiques are my son and my husband, who look at these pieces every day and they'll say, ugh, I hate that, or oh, that is awesome, you know. So we're gonna critique other pieces, we're gonna be talking about other pieces, but I wanted to talk about my geisha girl here. Not sure what I'm gonna name her, but this is one geisha that I need to work. And although it is gridded out properly, something's missing. And that's the artistic interpretation of a photograph or a model that I get to do as an artist. So, and fortunately with the experience of understanding the figure, I just feel like something is wrong in the nose area, which I'm gonna fix. So, thanks for watching. Let me critique your work. I'm happy to do it for you. And I'm happy to create like our little art community where we can work together and help each other's work get better and better. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed showing you how to critique and my process of critiquing, and we're looking forward to seeing more and more join our group and our community. Thanks so much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. We love to have you, and we love your suggestions. Add any suggestions down below, but make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Namaste.